Newham Stories is funded by the National Lottery Heritage Fund, and through this project we hope to explore and reflect on the culture and heritage of the diverse community here in Newham. Discover is a children's story centre, so story is like a heart of our centre's work, and we believe in the power of story to create wonder and also to explore one's cultural and heritage and identity. So we work with different community partners here in Newham. Some of them are working with vulnerable communities, so refugees and asylum seekers, and some of them are working with residents here in Newham. And we've engaged 3 different artists, and they work with these 3 different community partners as the artist residents. And through different forms of storytelling, they try to empower the parents to talk about their culture and heritage and pass on the stories to the next generation. And when I mention storytelling, it could come in different forms. It could be music, it could be food, it could be writing, it could be dancing, it could be anything really.
What was surprising to me was how emotional it was. Like, it was so emotional, and in the best way possible, I think, because we're talking about real life stories here, and we're talking about memories and experiences that we haven't necessarily thought about or reflected or had the time again and the luxury to think and reflect on. And so for some participants to rediscover a core memory or an experience that they put in the backlog of their mind and see their face light up or see them break down or whatever feelings come with that, it's so emotional. And you really get to know like the fabric of a person through their stories. Like it's not just a participant coming in for 1 hour and doing a couple of activities and going on about their day. You're actually immersing yourself into their worlds and into their experiences, and so it feels really close to home, even if it's not an experience you relate to or your own personal experience.
My daughter is a member of the Children's Forum in the Discover Children's Centre. And so I often we come here once a month, and I bring my son along and he gets to play in the Discover Centre. So when I heard about this project, I decided to get involved because basically I feel like whatever my children are doing, I need to be a part of it and support them and learn about what's happening in order for me to be a better parent as well. This whole project for me has been, I've learnt about, what is culture? What is the tangibles of culture? What is culture made up of? And the idea is that all these different things that you're doing, whether it's cooking with your aunt or your mum, or hearing stories about your mum and how they lived in whatever country or culture they're coming from, how they dressed, how they interacted with each other, all those things form culture. And I do tell my children stories. However, I feel like now I'm going to tell them even more stories, because I think one of the most important things is just being proud of who you are. It doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter what you're coming from. Everybody's got culture. Everybody's got a story. And be proud of that. And I said, it gives you more empathy as well. I think it does create empathy and compassion. So I think it's a beautiful thing, and I'm going to be sharing it with my kids. Yeah. So my Ghanaian name is Erekia, which means I was born on a Wednesday. So baby naming ceremonies are very important in Ghanaian, most African traditions, and I'm sure most cultures, because name reflects the child's purpose in life. So in a minute, when I start the story, I want everybody to say shh and pretend to rock a baby gently in your arms. The ceremony starts in the morning, and the mother and baby dress in white, and the baby wears special beads like these and white clay to make their skin smooth and shiny. So can everyone pretend to put white clay on their skin? The child is lifted 3 times and placed on a mat to symbolise hard work and gratitude to Mother Earth. Finally, the baby is taken outside for the first time, which is called outdooring. Everyone sings songs of praises, and the baby is welcomed into the community with lots of love and joy. Can everybody say, "Welcome, baby"?
Welcome, baby.
Lovely.
I really enjoyed the project. I think a lot of people can benefit from a project like this one, because one of the huge themes of this was connection, and I think we all need and seek connection, so it's important because it builds a bond between participants and it just makes them feel a little bit more connected.
I wanted to use an umbrella metaphor of food and how food is used to unite communities, how food is different within communities, but how there's like a thread of commonality and love that goes into preparing it, and memories that are made when preparing it or remembered when preparing it, and kind of using that as a means through which we talk about different aspects of culture and explore them.
After Ria, and she was talking about her spices and what it meant to her, this spice, and how it was used, I would come home and I remember like Ariana being my youngest, when we were doing stories, I would give like body language and tone of voice, like, and my older kids would look at me and be like, someone's got and I was like, don't get rude. And they were like, no, we like that atmosphere, don't change it. So, yeah, like Ria's really, like, the way she demonstrated everything was the bubbliness, and in the beginning, it was like, will I be able to ever become like this? Like, will I be able to ever tell a story and don't make people yawn? Like, yeah, like, it helped a lot. And I hope it continues, because I've got 5 children. Obviously, 2 are older and I've got 3 younger.
So when it comes to the weddings, people just don't go there to see the bride and the groom only. Who wants to see that? Come on, they all go for the food. So today I've brought all of you ladies a pot of biryani, which is sitting there, chicken biryani. I hope you all enjoy it. But I just remember my son being young and then all of a sudden saying, Mum, I'm getting married. And you think, where is your life gone as a mum? And he's like, Mum, you're becoming a mother-in-law. So for me, just to digest that at the moment is becoming a bit difficult, because I'm like, I bought you from the hospital. You're a baby. Now you're becoming a man. Now you're a man already and you're leaving me. What's going on here? So there you go, ladies. That's my little story.
So I was thinking about the stories, the cultural stories, and how we embody our stories. So each week we explored stories, but in different ways, using different types of stimuli to access memories, but to also move beyond what we remember or know, and sort of look into subconscious, the way we respond to things or the things we have stored in us. Another thing that we looked at was like the body as the archive, and how we really embody our stories, that even those who may feel disconnected from their culture, even through just owning our physicality, there's a sense of connection there, and we can access that, and we are our own sort of archive, and sort of the marks, the scars, they all tell stories. Hearing everybody else's story helps you connect to your own. So sometimes if you feel like you can't connect to your own, it's actually through other people's stories you find your own.
My ancestors revered like a big God and then elements. So we pray in the name of God and in the name of Mother Earth. So when I said, which means in the name of our God and the Mother Earth, and I said Ise, which means amen. So anything I've said as his mom is going to be like that. Nobody would contest it, and that's it.
Is Marites, who we have at the back, and she shared that there's a story that she says to her son every night, and this is a book that he demands that she reads, and I've asked them to bring something, a story that they would like to either develop or write in response to, or they would like to record, but in their own voice, their own version. Marites decided to bring this book, and she wanted to record it in her voice, or rather than to change the story or to write in response, she wanted to have a story that, for example, she wasn't there one night. She could then play to her son and hear her voice. Here's a story in her voice.
Swing low, swing high. Vampity, hold on tight. Hush little baby, say good night. Hush little babies, say good night.
Me me myself as a first generation immigrant, I feel deeply about that concern of parents not being able to pass on the culture and heritage to the second generation. And this is something that Newham Stories is just trying to capture. There's so many people who in Newham who are first, second generation immigrants, or just people coming from different cities in the UK as well. So in a way, all those parents and artists have been inspiring me quite a lot in this project as to how to navigate yourself in a new country, how to explore and find yourself and your new identity in a different environment, and how to celebrate as well who you are in somewhere new. So that is very inspiring.
I just think this program in general is important, and I think Esther Renee said this in her presentation, but it gives people a platform to discover and use their voice when they normally wouldn't have that. And I think that's very, very important in an environment that is non-judgmental, non-threatening and inclusive. So to be a part of something from this is amazing. I went into this as the artist, but I've come away from it having learned as much as the people in the sessions. So that growing and sharing together is just so special, and I'm so glad that I could do it.
I would say that the sessions helped me kind of connect to myself. Being a mother, I've only got one child, she's 2 now. It wasn't an expected, I didn't expect to go into motherhood. And in going into motherhood, as much as I've gained this new identity mother, I feel like I've somewhat lost who I am. So this helped me reconnect with my creativity, myself.
Becoming Yuri's mum, a journey like no other, an unexpected one, becoming someone's mother. Who will they be, and why did they choose me? Or was it not their choice? Did they take a wrong turn and end up here by mistake, or did they pick me from a lineup and select their own birth date? Or was it all in God's time? Was it what some call fate? Either way, we are here. Our life journeys have aligned. Soon, a small baby to call mine.